Buyers. My name is Chelsea Price, and I am an English Language Development, or ELD, teacher at DSST Buyers. I am here to help all of our sixth graders in their literacy to really help push their academic language, because it is important in eSchool that we are also still thinking about our language. So today I'd like to talk about descriptive language. This week we're going to be reading a text that is very, very descriptive, and we will also be using descriptive language in our writing. So I wanted to make a short video explaining the best ways, like how to use our descriptive language. But before I explain the how, I'd like to talk about why we need our descriptive language. So in both fiction and nonfiction texts, we need descriptive language so our audience can visualize exactly what we are visualizing. I chose this picture of a leaf because it's like a very close-up, detailed picture. I think if you were to ask anyone to describe a leaf, the first thing that people would say is probably something like a leaf is green, or that a leaf is small. When in reality, those are true, but if you look at these very deep ridges and lines, there are a lot more things that we could use to describe a leaf. Okay, so just kind of think of that metaphor as we go in. We want to describe things with as much detail as like this picture is showing. We don't want just the basics. So to start with the how we will use our descriptive language, I want to lead you back to our Literacy Hub website because it is full of really great resources. On the home site, you'll see that there's a place that says Tools for Excellence. This link is full of great resources for you to use in your reading and writing. So when I planned this lesson for this video, I went straight to it and went to these descriptive words because that is what we're going to use today. And there are two really wonderful anchor charts that have nice long lists of words that we can use. So here's the first one. It says descriptive words. And you'll see at the top there are some words: large, small, happy, sad, good, bad. These words are pretty boring, and I think as sixth graders, we should be using more descriptive language. But the good thing is underneath, we have a ton of options. So instead of large, you could describe something as colossal or enormous, gigantic. These are great words to use. Okay, a lot of us use the word bad a lot, and I think instead we could talk about things being horrible or dreadful. That's a great word. Okay. Now, also back at our website, there's another chart that says Be More Descriptive, and it has even more of these words like said, laughed, ran, walked, saw. Okay, and the more descriptive words underneath. So anytime that you're doing your writing this week, I think you might want to have these words or these charts like up in a separate tab, or like you've learned how to have two tabs kind of next to each other, two screens next to each other. These would be really good resources to have. So now you know where to find them, you know what they look like, and I'd like to show you about how I would use it. Okay. So this is how we use our descriptive language. Here's just one example. Okay, I found this picture and I just wrote the sentence, the small woman couldn't reach her groceries. Because in this picture you can see that's true. She's reaching up, okay? But I was thinking that small does not quite describe this woman. It also is a word that we just use too much and we need to think of better language. So I went back, okay, to this particular chart and found, because I found the word small, and then I looked at this list and thought which word would best describe that woman. And this word right here, petite, stood out to me because petite means more about being short than small in general. And that also kind of explains why she couldn't reach those groceries. So then I changed my sentence, and my new sentence is, the petite woman couldn't reach her groceries. Now, not only does that word petite describe the woman better, it also gives more reasoning as to why she couldn't reach her groceries. So it had two really good uses there. Yeah. So here's one more example. Okay, I also saw this picture recently of a boy who was looking very sad next to his dog. So I wrote the sentence, the boy was sad because his dog was sick. But again, that word sad, it's a word that we use too much, and it really doesn't fully describe how this boy feels. So I went back. This time I used this chart. Okay, all right, here it said, instead of sad, use. So I looked at all of these words, okay, and this word mournful really stood out to me because mournful is more when you are feeling sad because of other people, or in this case, this dog. So it is more linked to his feelings about the dog. So then I changed my sentence to the boy felt mournful because his dog was sick. So that is how you use that language. You just pull that like less descriptive word out of your sentence, you erase it, you delete it, and you replace it with a more descriptive word. Now the last thing I want to point out is these charts will also be really good like in our reading. So if we read a word that we don't understand, like you can use the context of that word, think if maybe it's like a more positive word or a negative word, and then go back to this chart, either of the charts, and see if it can help you understand it better. So I recently was reading something about an event, like a really happy event, and they described the event as remarkable. So that event sounded like a very positive thing. So first I went to happy, but I did not see the word remarkable underneath. I realized it's still something positive, so I looked at this line up here, good, and I found the word remarkable. So it made me realize that remarkable means good. And so that's how I learned a new word recently. So that's another way that you could use those charts in your reading. If you find a word that you're kind of struggling to understand, you could also try it there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I want you to remember to be as